Picture this. You wake up in central Iowa, you look out your window, and your entire organic cornfield that was worth $80,000 yesterday is now a swimming pool full of mud and dead plants. That happened last year to a guy I know, and his insurance check covered less than a quarter of what he actually lost. What is up, you legends? Welcome back to Organic Matters, the only show on the internet that tells you the truth about organic farming in the United States of America without the fluffy, feel-good nonsense. If you are new here, we talk about real dirt, real money, and real mistakes that can wipe you out. Today we are talking about the one thing every organic farmer in America pretends they have handled until disaster hits them right in the face. And that is insurance, and what a disaster actually costs when you are farming organic in the United States. This is not sexy, this is not fun, but this will save your farm. So listen close. Most folks in America think farming is like, oh, you plant seeds, sun shines, you harvest, you sell at Whole Foods, you make bank. Man, if only it was that simple. In reality, farming organic in America right now is like playing poker in a hurricane, and Mother Nature is cheating. And when she wins, she does not just take your crops, she takes your savings, your certification, your contracts, and sometimes your whole future. So today I am going to break down the stuff nobody tells you, the 5 big lies and brutal truths about organic farm insurance that most people get dead wrong, and what it really costs when everything goes sideways. Let us jump in. Lie number 1. People think organic insurance pays organic prices. This is the biggest scam-feeling thing in the whole system, and it has burned so many good farmers in the United States. Here's the deal. In America, the United States Department of Agriculture runs crop insurance through something called the Risk Management Agency. They set a price for every crop. If you grow conventional corn in Illinois, they say, okay, corn is worth about $4.50 a bushel. We will insure that. If you grow organic corn, which costs you way more to grow, and sells for like 10 or 11 bucks a bushel, because you did not spray poison and you took care of the soil, you would think they would insure it for 10 or 11 bucks, right? Wrong. For a long time, the system just paid organic farmers the conventional price plus a tiny bump, like 5 or 10% extra. That is a joke. That is like insuring a brand new pickup truck as if it was a beat up old bicycle. You spend triple on organic seed, you spend a fortune on organic compost and approved inputs, you pay your crew more because hand weeding is brutal work, and then when hail in Nebraska smashes your field to pieces, the adjuster shows up and says, oh, we will pay you conventional price. You just lost your shirt. Now the good news is America finally fixed some of this with something called organic price elections and contract price addendum. If you have a written contract from a buyer like a big organic mill or a grocery chain that says they will pay you 11 bucks a bushel, you can insure that contract price. But here is the catch that kills people. You need that contract signed before the deadline. You need perfect records. You need to prove your organic history with your certifier. And you need an insurance agent who actually knows what organic means. Most agents in the Corn Belt only know conventional. They have never even seen an organic contract. So if you do not demand the right coverage, you will not get it. I talked to a farmer in Wisconsin who lost 200 acres of organic soybeans to flooding. His contract price was $22 a bushel. His insurance paid him $13 because his agent never filed the organic addendum. That $9 difference per bushel cost him over $100,000 in one season. That is a house. Lie number 2. People think disaster means a dramatic tornado on the news, but the real budget killers are boring and slow. When you watch the news in America, you see a tornado tear a barn apart in Kansas or a wildfire smoke out California, and you think, okay, that is disaster. But for organic farms, the most expensive disasters are just bad timing with rain. In Pennsylvania or Ohio, you get a wet spring that lasts 3 weeks longer than normal. A conventional farmer sprays herbicide and moves on. An organic farmer cannot spray. He needs to get his cultivator in the field to kill weeds, but the field is too muddy. Tractor would sink, so he waits. While he waits, weeds grow taller than the crop. By the time it dries, his organic corn is choked out, yield is cut in half, and insurance says, oh, sorry, we do not cover weed pressure as a loss, because technically you still have corn plants out there. That is not a loss on paper. But in real life, you just lost 50% of your income, and you still paid all the labor. Same thing with drought. In Texas and Oklahoma right now, wells are drying up. A conventional farm will just pump harder or buy whatever water they can find. An organic farm has rules about where water comes from, what is in it, and how it affects soil health. If you have to bring in water that is not compliant, or you have to use a prohibited dust control method to keep your soil from blowing away, you risk losing your certification. And guess what? Losing your organic certification is not covered by any basic crop policy. So you keep your crop but lose your premium for 3 years. That is financial suicide. I know a guy in upstate New York who had beautiful organic carrots. Then it rained 2 inches every day for 10 days straight in June. Carrots rotted in the ground. Insurance said that was excess moisture covered, but they only paid for the yield loss, not for the fact that his field was now so compacted he had to spend $15,000 on deep ripping with organic approved equipment and another $10,000 on cover crops to fix the biology. The real cost was double the check. Lie number 3. People have no clue how much it costs to clean up and start over after disaster, especially organic. Let us run real American numbers, because this this is where it gets savage. Say you are a small organic veggie farm outside Portland, Oregon, 30 acres, mixed veggies, direct-to-consumer farmers markets, restaurant accounts. You're doing about $300,000 a year in sales. Solid business. A flood hits in late May, right after you transplanted all your summer crops. Everything is gone. A normal person thinks, okay, you lost maybe $30,000 of plants. You replant, you are good. Absolutely not. First, your organic seedlings, if you bought them from a certified organic greenhouse, cost you 3 times what conventional costs. So to rebuy 20,000 transplants is $15,000, not 5. Second, your organic fertilizer, that fancy fish emulsion and composted poultry litter, washed away. To replace it, you need another $8,000, and you have to wait 2 weeks for delivery because every other flooded farm is ordering too. Third, labor. You paid your crew for 3 weeks to plant. Now you have to pay them again to pull dead plants, clean plastic, replant, and you get zero income for 6 more weeks while new crops grow. That is another $20,000 in labor that produced nothing. Fourth, equipment damage, flood water in your tractor engine, in your cooler, in your irrigation pump. That is $10,000 minimum. Fifth, and this is the organic specific killer, contamination. If flood water came from a neighboring conventional farm or from a road with chemicals, it may have brought prohibited substances onto your land. Your certifier in the United States has to be notified. They may require testing. They may require you to take that block out of organic production for a year or more. So now you have to farm it organically but sell it as conventional, losing the organic premium. That can cost you $30,000 a year for 3 years, easily $90,000 total. So your little flood that looked like a $30,000 loss is actually more like $140,000 when you add real cleanup, replant, and loss premium. Your insurance check, if you have basic coverage, might be $40,000. You are still down $100,000. That is how farms in Vermont after Hurricane Irene and farms in North Carolina after Hurricane Florence just disappeared. Yeah, they did not die from the storm. They died from the math after the storm. Lie number 4, the best insurance for most organic farms is something most farmers have never even heard of, and that is a tragedy. In the United States, most crop insurance was designed for big commodity farms, 1,000 acres of corn, 1,000 acres of soybeans, one crop, one policy, easy. But organic farms are different. The best organic farms in America are diverse as hell. You got 40 types of vegetables, you got berries, you got chickens laying organic eggs, you got microgreens, you got a little agritourism. You sell at 3 farmers markets and to 20 restaurants. If you try to insure each crop separately, you will go insane. The paperwork will bury you, the premiums will bleed you dry, and you still will not be covered for a total revenue drop. That is why whole farm revenue protection is a game changer. It is called WFRP, and it is the only policy that insures your entire farm revenue as one big pot. So if your tomatoes get hammered by late blight, but your cucumbers have the best year ever, it looks at your total farm revenue. If your total revenue drops because of a covered disaster, you get paid. For organic farms selling direct to consumer in places like California, New York, Washington, Colorado, this is perfect because your revenue comes from many sources and your prices are higher. But here is why almost nobody in America uses it. Only like 2% of farms use it. First, you need 5 years of clean tax records, Schedule F, the whole thing. A lot of small organic farmers do not have that, or their books are messy. Second, you need an agent who actually knows how to write it. I am telling you, I have talked to farmers from Maine to Arizona. Most insurance agents look at a diverse organic farm and they freeze up like a computer with too many tabs open. They do not know how to value 40 crops. Third, the deadline is brutal. In most of the United States, you have to sign up by March 15th. If you miss it, you are out of luck for the whole year. And you have to do a lot of homework before that, like farm plans, revenue projections, organic certification paperwork. But if you can get it, it is worth its weight in gold. It also gives you a premium subsidy, so the government pays part of your premium, and you get an extra bump if you are a beginning farmer or veteran. Smart organic farmers who use it say it is the only reason they are still farming after a bad year. Lie number 5, the deadliest lie, insurance will save you so you do not need cash in the bank. This one makes me want to scream because it is so American, so optimistic, so wrong. Even the best organic crop insurance in the United States only covers about 65 to 80% of your expected revenue, and it does not pay you the next day. It pays you months later, sometimes 7 or 8 months after the disaster, after an adjuster comes out, after paperwork, after your certifier signs off. Meanwhile, your bills do not wait. Your land payment is due next month in Iowa. Your workers need paychecks every Friday in California. Your cooler needs electricity today. Your loan officer at the bank does not care that your organic blueberries got fried by a late freeze in Michigan. He wants his payment. So what do? You borrow, you take out an emergency operating loan at high interest. Organic farms already get charged higher interest because banks think you are risky. So now you lost your crop, you are paying 8 or 9% interest interest on a loan just to stay alive, and 6 months later you get an insurance check that does not even cover the loan plus interest. You are now in debt for next year before you even plant. That is the real killer, the cash flow gap. The farmers who survive in America are the ones who treat insurance as a safety net at the bottom, not as a plan. They have three other things. One, a disaster savings account with at least 3 months of expenses. Boring, but it saves lives. Two, a line of credit set up in winter when times are good, not in summer when you are desperate. Three, real relationships with buyers. If you sell to a co-op or restaurant that values organic, they will stick with you and even prepay next season if you're honest about a disaster. And if you sell to some random broker who only cares about price, you are toast. Let me give you an analogy that will stick because I know insurance stock is like watching paint dry. Think of regular crop insurance like buying cheap sneakers from a big box store. They fit most people okay, they are cheap, they work if you just walk around. Organic farming is like being a professional basketball player in the NBA. You cannot wear cheap sneakers. Your feet are your business. You need custom shoes that cost 5 times more, built for your weight, your jump, your ankles. If you try to play a full season in cheap shoes, you will blow out your knee and your career is over. Organic farm insurance is the same. Your soil is like your niece. Your certification is like your contract. Your organic premium price is like your endorsement deal. A regular insurance policy is cheap sneakers. It might cover a little, but when you actually get hurt, it does not understand what your body is really worth or how long it takes to rehab. You need a custom policy built for organic with an agent who is basically your sports medicine doctor. If you cheap out, you will pay for it with your farm. So what does disaster actually cost for an organic farm in America in 2026? Let us add it up with real numbers that will make your stomach drop. You have a 50-acre organic grain farm in Kansas. You expect $200,000 in organic wheat sales. Drought hits, you harvest only half, so you lost $100,000 in sales. Your crop insurance with organic price election pays you 70%, so $70,000. You're down $30,000, not terrible. But wait, you had to pay extra for organic weed control because drought-stressed crops and weeds went crazy, another $12,000. You had to pay for extra irrigation, fuel, labor, another $10,000. Your organic buyer cancels part of your contract because you cannot deliver, and now you lose your premium contract for next year, costing you $20,000 next season. And because your yield was so low, you do not have enough organic straw to cover your fields for winter, so you have to buy inexpensive certified organic straw, another $8,000. Total real loss, $80,000, not $30,000. That is how a farm goes from profitable to bankrupt in one season. And this is happening more and more in the United States because weather is getting wilder. Wildfires in California, late freezes in Florida that kill organic peaches, super floods in the Midwest, hurricanes in the Southeast that drown organic sweet potatoes. If you farm organic in America and you do not have a disaster plan that includes the right insurance, plus cash reserves, plus good records, plus a great agent, you are gambling with your family legacy. I know this was a lot, and I know some of you watching are not even in America. You are in Canada, Europe, Australia, and you think this does not apply to you, but it does. Everywhere in the world, organic farmers get hit harder by disaster because you farm with biology, not chemistry, and biology is more sensitive. The United States just has the most data on how bad the money math gets. So here's where I want to start a real fight in the comments because I love when you guys argue. Do you think the United States government should pay organic farmers more money when disaster hits because organic farmers are rebuilding soil health and protecting water for everyone? Or do you think organic farmers chose to farm a riskier way to get higher prices, so they should deal with the risk themselves and not ask taxpayers for help? I want to hear it, no filter. Drop your take below. I will be reading and responding. And if this video opened your eyes or scared you straight, do me a favor and hit subscribe right now for Organic Matters, because next week we have a banger you cannot miss. We got a real medical doctor in the studio, and he is reacting to the biggest question of all. Doctor reacts, does organic actually reduce cancer risk? We are looking at real studies, real data, no hype, just truth. You will not want to miss it. Hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and I will see you next week. Keep your soil alive and your paperwork tighter.